Other supporters of the rule say, local lawmaker has said, it's a big deal. It's not really going to affect anybody. I mean, yeah, you got to do these requirements, but you can keep what you have. Well, this map up here gives you an inkling of what it's going to mean in Oneida County. Pete brought it along. These red areas are, this is where I fall off the stage. These red circles are 1,000 feet of all the lakes in Oneida County. And what you'll see is that's right there, half the county at least, that's going to be under these impervious surface requirements. All of Oneida. This does not include the floodplains, does not include the rivers and streams. When you add them in, you can see how much property is going to come under this regulation. If you don't think it's significant, let's take a look. We are at ground zero right now. Ground zero. This will be, if the new rule takes effect, this will be a non-conforming structure. If the new rule takes effect, let's consider what it will mean to residential properties, to those thousands and thousands of residential properties. Well, let's say you've got an unsewered lot of 10,000 square feet. It doesn't take much to get to your half 3,000 with mitigation, so you're going to pay out of your pocket. It doesn't take much to get to that 3,000 feet. You've got a 1,500 square foot home, a 2,000 square foot home, a long home to have in the Northwoods, a garage, a storage shed. You're there, you're gone, you're busted, done. Then, if we consider public institution and commercial properties, Pete's colleague, the zoning director, Carl Jenrich, which I interviewed for a newspaper article several weeks ago, pointed out that the island of Minocqua will completely be within the shoreline zone. And in his estimation, he told me 75% of the properties are already done. They've hit 30%. They've hit 30%. They'll never be able to expand. They're not conforming. Does it mean anything? Well, it might mean something if you're a library supporter here in town. Right now, the town is debating whether to add a library expansion at the community center. As I understand it, that might be on referendum. Triple the size of the library. They might get it done if the new rule doesn't take effect in time. But guess what? If the rule was in place today, that library expansion couldn't happen under any conditions. Now, if you're from Minocqua, I don't know whether you're for the library expansion or not. That's not the point. The point is it should be a local decision, not a decision of the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. This is an outrage that shouldn't be allowed to happen, and this will cost taxpayers. The option's then, if you do get a new library, you won't find a property on the island to put a library you need and parking, so you'll have to go off the island with your town library, and you'll buy more expensive property, and you'll double and triple the cost. No problem. No problem, says the DNR. No problem, says Senator Mulder, who has begun to backpedal in several days. There are costs associated to homeowners. Pete will be able to talk about this. I don't know what they're going to require in the Oneida County thing, but when you go to get a new sidewalk or a new driveway, well, they're going to want a building permit, right, Pete? They're going to want a building permit. You don't have to have a building permit for that stuff now, so there's a new cost. All these costs, all these permits, how many surveys are you going to have to need? Because they're going to have to establish whether you're meeting the impervious surface requirements. So we've got limitations on what you can do with your property, and now we have sort of cost of when you can do something, and we're not even considering the cost of mitigation yet. So now we have those sort of costs added into this bill. And now we're not stopping there. We got the cost to all the taxpayers, and that's going to be a big bill. Carl told me that what happens here, the DNR is going to give everybody, every county, 2 years to write a new ordinance to bring it into compliance with the new rules. The last time we rewrote the shoreline ordinance, Carl said, $163,000 bill. So get set, folks. And Carl also said that the implementation factor for his office to enforce this new regulation will be $320,000 for the county, for us. Because they're going to need staff. They're going to be doing more on-site inspections. Now, I joked about me having a target on his back, but in fact, Carl and his office pointed these distinctions out, these problems out to the DNR. And I just read the letter he wrote. I'll read a paragraph of the letter he wrote about the impact, the immediate impact of this. In our 115 will significantly increase the workload for the United County Zoning Department. The number of permits will dramatically increase for shoreline property owners. Permits will be required for construction, development, reconstruction, structural alterations, moving of buildings, structures, regardless of the size or dollar amount, if located within 1,000 feet of a lake or 300 feet of a navigable stream. Furthermore, the county will be required to conduct periodic inspections of the work in progress to ensure compliance. Oneida County does not conduct on-site inspections for all zoning permit applications. The number of on-site inspections currently being conducted will more than double in order to administer the proposed language.